Good?
I'm good.
Welcome to another episode of Bet the Bus. I am your host, Payoff Willy, a.k.a. Let's Give Thanks. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. You are here for college football. We picked the number one headlines throughout the weekend. It is rivalry week this week. If you're here if you want NFL picks, we have a show, Slips and Picks. It'll come out after this. But happy Thanksgiving, as always, joined by the squad in the back, Joey Potluck Parlay himself. He brings an assortment of picks. He puts them together and puts them into a nice little parlay. You go over to Jackie Stuffing. He's going to dress the pick up for you, and he's going to stuff in your bank account. Then you go over to Gary Gobbler. He's going to gobble the picks up, and he's going to, once he cooks you, he's going to shove his hand right up your ass, and he's going to pull out the giblets, which is going to be a bunch of money signs. Then you got Mitch Carsley. He's our data guy. Joined by us today is Lewy Locks himself. It is rivalry week. We have the game. We're going to be talking Civil War, Heroes game. We got a lot of the Iron Bowl. What's the Clemson, South Carolina one called?
Palmetto Bowl.
The what?
Palmetto Bowl.
Palmetto Bowl. We're talking all rivalries. We needed the boy Lewy Locks because the game is the headliner game, possibly the biggest game in Michigan's career.
Possibly the biggest game in Michigan or Ohio State's career. This one will cement us forever in time, but we will get to that game when it absolutely happens. Want to say to you, sir, absolute pleasure to be on here. Been a fan of you for a long time.
Thank you.
Fan of you for a long
I've seen your
time.
stuff when I was out, and you did a really good job.
Thank you, sir.
Because this show on the year is 45, 26, and 2, a very bountiful, a very let's give thanks because it's Thanksgiving to Bet the Bus. Drop comments. Jackie Stuffing, go ahead and kick us off. Let us know how we did last week over the weekend.
Solid week. 4-2, financially solvent, living in the green, back to what we know. We wanted to take the whole board, so that was disappointing we didn't. We had Kansas State letting us down, and then unfortunately your Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Damn.
I know that hurts, but I have a little quote. I have a quote that I need you to reflect on. I need you to give me some insight and see where this sits at home with you. And it is, when you finally trust someone without any doubt, you finally get one of two results: a person for life or a lesson for life. Going into this week, is Nebraska going to be a lesson for life or a person for life? And I'll just leave that for you.
We will get to that game in a minute, but that one cuts deep. We had our vlog when we went out to LSU, and my guy, he's like, I found Bussin With The Boys 2 weeks ago. I've been binging it ever since. I rode with you on the Nebraska money line against.
Last week, the first week I've ever put my hands in the bus, and I took Nebraska -3. What happened, Will? What happened, Will? Tell the camera what happened, Will.
It's a bad loss to Michigan
Taylor.
State.
If it wasn't for the refs, we're
Yeah.
taking that one home, and Bet the Bus, who was already profitable, is even more profitable.
Yeah, but he says that, and I reflect on that vlog, and I'm just like, man, I am letting people down because they are blindly following me to this water. Is it holy water this week? I believe it is, but we will get to that game in a minute. Let's kick it off with the Civil War, Jack. Go ahead and set it up for us.
Yeah, one of the greatest names to a rivalry match. The Civil War, we have Oregon State at Oregon. The line is 11.5 in Oregon's favor. Go ahead and lead us to the picks.
Let's talk about Mitch Carsley's data right here. Game is Friday night and is the last matchup with both teams being members of the Pac-12. That's a great stat right there. Both teams are in the Pac-12. Oregon ranks second in the nation with 46.5 points per game. Oregon State is 2-2 in their last 4 and is 6-5 against the spread this season, while Oregon is 8-3 against the spread this season. Oregon's defense only allowing 17 points per game, which is the 13th best. Oregon also ranks second in the nation in pass yards. If Oregon wins, they get their rematch against Washington in the Pac-12 championship and most likely a spot in the college football playoff. Lewy Locks, where are you leaning after looking at that data?
This game has been played since 1894,
Oh, shit. Nice.
right? You like that one right there?
Yeah, I do.
And right about the 80s, this game was referred to as the Civil War. Now, 2020, the life we lived in, we got vaccines, we got wokeness, all that. These two programs came out and said, we're no longer referring it to the Civil War anymore. We're done. In true Northwestern thinking. Now, when I think about this game, I think about ducks, I think about beavers, and I think about green. I think about this show, how we stay in the green. And the only way for this show to continue to stay in the green is to ride the Oregon Ducks to the Pac-12 championship at -11.
Where you going, Mitch? I don't know. To me, this is an up in the air game. I'm nervous. We watched Oregon State against Washington this past week. They kept it close. Washington had to earn that win, and it was only by a few. So to me, 11.5 points is a lot. Where's your big head going?
I'm going with Oregon. I just think they're going to be too much. Simple.
JP, Potluck, where you going?
Oregon.
Jack,
Oregon.
Gary Gobbler, gobble this one up.
Go Ducks.
All right, fuck it. Let's ride. The boys ride. There will be bloodshed.
Riding with the Ducks, baby.
Yes,
I like
riding with
that.
the Ducks. Go ahead, kick off the next one, Jack.
Well, is that real though? Is the Civil War? Is that
Yeah,
done?
2020, they came out and said old players said, hey, we don't want to be a part of that anymore. I think that's a bad look for everything. We need to get rid of the name Civil War.
True Pac-12.
What are they going to take?
Pac-12
from us
mentality.
next?
Do what?
I said, what are they taking from us next?
Yeah,
Anyways,
exactly.
moving on to possibly the biggest Big Ten game of all time. It's Iowa at Nebraska. They call it the Heroes game. Who will be the hero and who will be the zero, Will? Remember, a lesson or a friend? What's it going to be?
You know, when you hit rock bottom, the only way to go is which way, boys?
Up.
We have hit rock bottom. But this game right here is all about controlling the border. People at Iowa can yank and say we clinched the Big Ten West. Whoop-de-fucking-do, boys. When you talk about the cattle industry and the crops and controlling the border, it's between Iowa. Hey, hold on, Jack. Hang on. You gotta keep it together. There's two states you think about, and it's Iowa and it's Nebraska. George Kittle, we've been going back and forth all week long about this. Loser has to pop out a video and do the whole song and dance. This is the week to where I become an ally because I know everybody's been riding with me on this each week with Nebraska. Let's ride with Will. Let's ride with Will. We've had some tough losses. But this week, we're favored. No clue why, but it's all about controlling the border. And what does Iowa stand for, boys? Raise your hand if you know. I'll call on you. Taylor.
I owe the world an apology.
That's a good one, but it's also idiots out wandering around. Nebraska, just go money line. Don't fall for the 1.5. This could be a 1-point game. Nebraska money line against Iowa. Lewy Locks, where are you going?
Listen, I don't know what Vegas knows that we haven't seen all year long for Nebraska to be favored by 1.5 points. A poll comes out a week ago. Nebraska fans are ecstatic. They're so happy. The trend, the way that the University of Nebraska is going. 91% of people are happy, and I agree with them. They should be happy because you have one more win than last year. There's been talk about Nebraska being abysmal, being one of the worst Power 5 teams in the history of the game, especially since
history of the game.
Since 2010, people have been disgusted with the University of Nebraska.
2015,
These
16.
people are going to eat their words this week as the University of Nebraska plays against a Big Ten West champion and goes 6-6, making a bowl game for the first time since 2015. Heroes game.
2016.
2016. Heroes game. I have no idea why they call it that.
But let's be heroes.
But let's be heroes. We have to do a service to Matt Rule. We have to win this game so Matt Rule does not become the quote guy.
A warrior doesn't need a weapon. A warrior is the weapon.
He's got amazing quotes. He goes viral every single week. This is when those quotes come into action and they put more points on the board than the other team. Please, gambling gods, just let it happen to save a young man's life sitting to my right. Nebraska money line.
Mitch, where are you going? Rivalry week.
Roll corn.
Oh, goddamn.
Big brain, that's what you thought of.
I'm corny because I need Nebraska versus South Carolina in a bowl game so we can settle it all. I'm riding with Nebraska.
Let's go. I love that.
Yeah, I'm not only with Nebraska, but I'm taking Nebraska with the points, -1.5. Going bowling. I think Iowa is lame. I'm with Matt Rule, and I want to see these quotes take on a new wave at Nebraska. So Nebraska -1.5.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
We're going Nebraska, but I think we have to go under.
What's the points on this one?
It doesn't matter.
26, 27?
It doesn't matter. It does not matter.
Iowa's in the game. It's an under.
Let's go.
Gobble, gobble.
Double gobble.
Double gobble on that one. Iowa's already done what they've had to do. They've clinched the Big Ten West. All right. They know it's over at this point. You're going to lose whoever wins in the Big Ten East, but they're happy with the fact that they're holding business. Is this 2 times in a row? Big Ten West champs?
Yeah.
2 times in a row?
Yeah.
This is
Nothing to be proud of.
This is Iowa's ceiling, and they are done.
Nothing to be proud of. Iron Bowl, boys. Iron Bowl, Sunshine Bowl, Sunshine Showdown, Palmetto Bowl, and the game coming up. Jackie stuffing.
All right, moving on. SEC West matchup. One of my personal favorite rivalry week showdowns. It is Alabama at Auburn after Auburn came off a incredibly tough beat to New Mexico State. The line is 15. Go ahead and take us home.
Auburn sucks. Dude, Auburn is so shitty. Losing to who?
New Mexico State.
It doesn't fucking matter. Alabama, minus 15 in the Iron Bowl. I wish I could. One day we're going to experience an environment for the Iron Bowl because I hear it is absolutely electric. I'm going Alabama, minus 15.
Auburn's got nothing, and Alabama's got everything to lose. Alabama needs to win this. They've been in these positions before. Alabama, minus 15.
Mitch.
This actually makes sense now. Roll Tide.
Wait, you didn't? Never mind.
I'm rocking with Roll Tide as well. But this is also classic rivalry week. They just had a horrible loss, and it would not shock me at all if it is a close game for no reason.
I
Are
disagree.
you
with
going
that.
Auburn plus 15 and Bama just to win?
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Auburn, love it. First guy to step out.
I'm following my man. Auburn just paid New Mexico State $1.2 million to come and get their ass whooped by them. I think they're going to be angry. I do not think there's a chance in hell that Auburn wins, but I'm going to take the points plus 15 for Auburn.
As everyone said, Auburn loves to ruin our season, but I don't think that happens this year. I think we're finding our stride, and I think the rest of the college football world is scared. They don't want to see us in there, and it's Roll Tide.
Yo, I'm looking at this. Jack is Sigma. Jack, you're a Sigma.
Mitch put that in there.
I'm looking at the Sunshine Showdown.
Correct data, though. That is correct data. More of just the tip of the cap to all the Sigmas out there. Moving on, though, too, maybe they should call it the Sunshine Sigma Showdown, but it is just the Sunshine Showdown. We have a Florida battle, Florida State at Florida, plus 6.5 is the line. Where you at? And are you a Sigma?
Sure, I don't know what that means, but yeah, we can be a Sigma. Do we want to be a Sigma?
Yes.
Okay. Florida needs to win this game in order to become bowl eligible. They've lost 4 straight. Jesus Christ. 3 of which has been against ranked teams. I don't know. You got both backup quarterbacks in. That sucks about Jordan Travis. That was a brutal injury. Florida's without Graham Mertz too. Mertz, whatever. Let's say Florida State. I'm thinking Florida State because I'm just thinking team from top to bottom. I think Mertz was doing a good job operating that offense. Like Florida can score, but I don't know. You know what? I'm going Florida plus 6.5. It's at the Swamp. I'm going Florida plus 6.5. Sunshine Showdown. Give me Florida. Give me Florida, Lewy.
Rivalry week. Throw records out the window. Nothing else matters but these games. And I believe there's 2 games in this slate where that takes place. And that is one. This game is one of them. In the Swamp, traveling down to Baton Rouge a few weeks ago when LSU played Florida, gentleman from LSU told us this is loud, but Florida's much louder. These are the games where people are exposed. Florida State will be exposed in this game. They're fraudulent. They're ranked too high. And for that reason, I'm going Florida money line.
Oh, Florida money line.
Money line.
Florida money line.
Florida money line.
Mitch,
I'm going under 51.
is this your over-under game of the week?
This is my over/under game of the week.
All right, hey, we'll throw it on the main card. Under.
Both backup quarterbacks under.
Yeah. Joey Potluck.
I'm rocking Florida because this is the week that I think we get to see the college football playoff get truly shaken up, and the Gators will do it to Florida State.
So Florida money line.
Florida money line.
My pick is solely based out of my UT fandom and my pure hatred for Florida. So I will be rocking with the Seminoles, Florida State. Jordan Travis, that was devastating, but I do still think they're going to come out and play for him. Florida State minus 6.5.
Ooh, naughty little boy.
We'll keep it short as Go Gators.
Love it. Kick off the next one, Jackie Stuffing.
This is the biggest
Dress it up.
game of JP Hovey's season and the South Carolina Gamecocks. We all want to see them go bowling so that we can possibly see a Nebraska versus South Carolina Music City Bowl in Nashville. But it is Clemson at South Carolina. The Palmetto Bowl line is 7. Go ahead. Give my boy to my right something to live for.
I will give Joey Potluck the biggest stat going into this game. And that stat is that Joey Potluck will be in attendance. And when he's at that game, South Carolina is 2-0, and both wins We're against top 10 teams. If that's not a stat that gets your piss hot, I don't know what is. JP, we know where you're going. You're obviously rocking South Carolina. South Carolina +7. I know you're going South Carolina money line. Ready to? Would you think you guys storm the field if you guys beat Clemson?
No, we won't storm the field if we beat them because Clemson is not good this year.
Clemson's gotten better. If I can defend them just a little bit, I know that's a rivalry. To me, that's trying to be an objective. They've gotten better.
I don't think they've gotten better. I think the teams they've played have gotten worse. The Clemson has not gotten better.
All right, yeah, money line South Carolina. Are you rocking with them, Jack?
Once again, my UT fandom takes over, but my relationship with JP Hovey runs a little bit thicker. And I'm going to go South Carolina +7. I do believe that they're going to get the win. And I also do believe if they secure the dub, that they 100% will be rushing the field. South Carolina +7.
So you're not going, you say you believe they're going to win, but you don't want to go money.
I believe they'll win, but yeah, as a better, just to be safe, I'm going to go South Carolina +7. I'd bet anything. I'd bet on everything that they're rushing the field if they win. That'd be my lock of the week. So, yeah.
Is anybody going Clemson or -7?
Hell no.
No. This is that second rivalry game in the slate where records do not matter.
Yeah.
South Carolina's going to win this game. South Carolina money
God,
line.
I hope so. By the way, Juice Wells, shout out the boy Juice Wells. He just did a public announcement on Twitter saying he's back for next season, which is big time. Yeah, hey, South Carolina -7 or +7. Are we willing to say lock of the week?
Of course, we're willing to say lock of the week. Every week is a lock of the week with South Carolina.
Hey, Jack, set this next one up. This is the biggest game in recent history.
We have two 11-0 juggernauts, two Big Ten monsters. The biggest game, debatably in Michigan's history, debatably the biggest game for Ohio State in the last 2 years. It is the game. And that was no shot at you, Taylor, but this is the game. No notes. The line is 3.5. 2 of the members on this bus will be in attendance. It is at the Big House. I'll go ahead and take this one.
My heart's pounding right now. For months, people have ridiculed, came at, called us cheaters, called us pieces of shit. Michigan, man, you're a scumbag. You're this, that, and the other. When Saturday hits on November 25th, there's only one way in that stadium and one way out. And I guarantee for the next few days, Ryan Day will not have one good sleep. Because once those gates close and they're in between the lines, they can't fucking leave. They're not allowed to leave and lean back on possible allegations and Connor Stallions and all that. Now you have to play the game. Now you have to see the maize and blue, who's been haunting your dreams for the last 4 years. For the last 4 years, we've been haunting Ohio State's dreams. Michigan has nothing to lose. If we lose, everyone's like, oh, we called it. It is what it is. Ryan Day, his legacy at Ohio State. I'm a fan of Ryan Day. I like him. I was around him. Good guy. This week, fuck him, fuck Ohio State, fuck Columbus, Ohio, and fuck the Big Ten. The University of Michigan will win this game, and they will absolutely cover -3.5.
Not so fast, cheater. Ohio State. And by the way, I think Michigan has a lot to lose
Say what
if
you're
they
gonna
lose
say.
this weekend. Oh, here's what I'm going to say. It's Ohio State money line. I'm saying Ohio State money line. I'm taking Ohio State this weekend. I think Michigan is a good football team. However, since Connor Stallions has been fired, since their linebacker coach has gotten fired, since they've had all of this internal conflict, you see it in the play. JJ McCarthy he's a decent quarterback. He's not the Heisman top 5 guy like everybody thought he was. He's a decent quarterback. And I think Michigan's been exposed a little bit since you don't have all the preparation and antics. I do think there's been a lot of heavy cloud over you guys, which plays into that factor. But Penn State, that game, Penn State, obviously much better chance, probably wins that game with an actual quarterback in the backfield,
Probably
under
not.
center. Ohio State is an actual offense that they're playing with a defense that's just as good as both Michigan and Penn State. For those reasons, I like Ohio State.
Statistically, everything you just said about Ohio State's defense is wrong.
Why is that?
Penn State lost to a team that chose not to throw the ball in the second half.
Chose
Not to throw the ball in the second half. You say J.J. McCarthy didn't play that well. He was 7 for 8 for 62 yards.
What a stat
and
line.
then did not throw the ball in the second half. This team is the most well put together team in all of college football. The hate fuels the Wolverines. The true bad boys of college football are going to arrive, and there's nothing the fucking Big Ten can do about it.
The true cheaters, yeah.
Boys?
Yeah, where are we riding in the back? Mitch, start it off. Rivalry week.
I'm going Ohio State money line. I'm not going to have some big pump up speech, some like ride on the horse, just leading to battle speech like Taylor has. The Ohio State, these boys know what's been going on. Michigan's had our number the last 2 years in a row. It's GBOT for the rivalry this week. Marvin Harrison is going to go off. Travion Henderson's going to go off. Marvin Harrison's going to show that he deserves the Heisman. I mean, they're walking into Michigan with something to prove. Kyle McCord, we saw him at Notre Dame. He looked a little shaky then, but he's got his shit together. And Ohio State money line, it is what it is.
Give me a Sleep Number mattress for the next time you give us a speech, brother.
I'm not gonna. I told you I'm not gonna give you
That was
some big
fucking
pump up
terrible.
speech. We just know business.
I'm not going to give you a
business.
pump up speech, but here I go. JP,
This
go
is
ahead.
business.
Who you got,
By the way,
brother?
Ohio State in total yards, they are the number 7 team in the country.
Oh, this one's hard for me because I really don't like Ohio State. I never have. But Michigan has not looked good the last 2 weeks, and that makes me nervous. And when I get nervous is usually when I make my best decisions. And I will be riding with the Wolverines in this matchup this week. And I think they will make it to the college football playoff. And I think they will get stomped in the college football playoff. But they will beat
back on.
Ohio State.
Buses are going back on.
Jack.
Michigan has had what some call a cinematic season. A lot of ups and downs in terms of turmoil in the clubhouse, the cheating scandals, the coaching switches. There's a lot going on, but you take into factor with the Blake Corums and the JJ McCarthys and the studs they have on their line, the Trevor Keegans and the Zach Zinners, it almost seems impossible to beat these guys. And with that being said, I'm going Ohio State money line. I just think and this has nothing to do with what we have going on this season. I just think that Ohio State is going to come out angry. They've gotten taken care of the last 2 years in the game. And maybe Michigan goes 3 straight, but I think they're going to come in the big house. And I've been there before. It's not as loud as people say it is. And I think they're going to take over and control the energy. So Ohio State money line.
This one is tough.
Gobble, gobble.
This one is tough because of friendships on the bus, but also there's been a lot of shit talking on the bus. So I think it's OH. IO. Money line.
This is exactly, not exactly, JP. This is exactly how I thought it would go. And you guys have just confirmed that the University of Michigan will ride high, win their 3rd Big Ten championship in a row, and then win the national championship. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure being on this bus with you.
Happy Thanksgiving. Drop comments. OH, IO. Thanks for joining us. Big hugs, tiny kisses.